to make your last one right there, huh?
Yeah, no, not bad, not bad. It's a good feeling every time it goes in. That's for sure.
Jack, I know it came in a loss, but that kind of last couple minutes of that Rutgers game when you knocked in 2 straight three-pointers, how much of a burden was lifted off your shoulders after the slump that you had to climb out of earlier this season?
I mean, like it feels good to know that like it's going in the game because I know I can make those shots and like the coaches have faith in me that to take them because they see me put in the work and see me making them in practices and stuff. So it felt good to just like to know that like they're finally going in, especially after a little rough patch. That's for sure.
How hard was that for you when it just seems like there was a lid on the basket every time you were shooting it?
I mean, it happens to everyone. Like you look at like every player to play basketball ever. So like I just kept that in my mind. You know, like this happening now. I still got like tomorrow to change it. I got a year, 2 years, kind of thing. That was my mentality. So like every day, like going to the next day, because it's all mental. You know, it's not like I've suddenly gotten worse at shooting, or suddenly get better, kind of thing. So it's just like using that approach. Like you look at NBA guys, they all go through like 3 something a season. It's a much longer season, kind of thing. So just using that to get out of it and keep my head up.
Did you ever get frustrated?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like I had some like late nights where I'm just sitting there like my team needs me, and here I am kind of missing these like shots I should be making. So definitely frustration. There's no doubt about it.
How hard was it to stay positive when you go from starter to not even seeing the floor in some games? I mean, during kind of the peak of that slump. How hard is it to keep an upbeat mindset?
I mean, like it's hard, you know. Like anyone that would say it's easy is lying. But like I look at like NBA dudes for like motivation a lot. So I looked at like Patty Mills, like especially I looked at some Patty Mills when he was for the Spurs. You know, he wasn't playing a lot, and so that's why I grabbed the towel like a couple of those games, kind of thing. Just like cheering for my teammates and like trying to help get the win. You know, and every day like the behind the scenes stuff helps get wins as well. You know, the things that like maybe the fans don't realize and stuff, like going hard in practice, like guarding players hard, and like that helps everything. So just keeping that mentality of just focusing on trying to get wins.
Did you go back to the basics or like switch up your form at all throughout this?
Not really. Honestly, I kind of just tried to take like a mental break, like for like, you know, instead of thinking about it, instead of say watching like some film, I might have just like chucked a movie on or something, and a lot of like form shooting, you know, getting my feet, kind of like a lot of recovery, like getting my legs under me, kind of thing, and then just reps. You know, you can't really change anything up mid-season, like getting out there an hour and a half or whatever before game start and getting my like regular reps in, kind of thing, because you can't just change like the whole technique halfway through a season. So it's just working on the form, like follow through and feet, especially for me.
Jack, you talk about keeping a positive attitude for you guys as a team. How do you stay positive on the heels of a 4-game losing streak at this point in the season?
It's like same thing. Like it's tough, you know, and that's where like you can see teams go either way. You know, especially after 2 hard losses, this is where we got to come out and really put a foot down, especially defensively. You know, you can't let the offense dictate your defense because that's when like things can get loose. So just practicing hard and like focusing on the everyday stuff is really important. You know, and then everyone on the team, you know, dudes like Malcolm, for example, who are on the bench, like they're such an underrated part of college basketball, but they're so important. Like every single dude, like all 15 or 14 of us, like really matters, especially when getting out of the slump. Like winning in the Big Ten's hard, and you gotta make sure everything's on point.
You get the green light to shoot it pretty much whenever you have the ball. Did you notice yourself hesitating a little bit during that slump?
That's one of the funny things is because I don't feel like I'm hesitating, but then I'll watch the film and I am, you know, and that's where the mental aspect comes. Like the coaches would be like, shoot that one, like you were open there. But in my mind, like I wasn't open on the court, and that's where the part comes with it. It's always funny because you look at a lot of my games, like the games where sometimes I miss my first 2 or 3, I'll end the game with 3 attempts. And then the games where I hit like the first 2 or 1 or like I'll end up with maybe 9, 10 3-point attempts, and it's like how different really is the game. Like not a lot. So a lot of that it comes with mindset, and you know being confident, stepping in and taking that shot that maybe not contested, but if I thought about it, then the opportunity's gone. So definitely a big part of hesitating and confidence.
Jack, the whole woulda, coulda, shoulda sometimes creeps into the mind just because the last 2 games came down to the final seconds. have you guys had to kind of fight against that and make sure your side is strong?
Yeah, for sure. Like it's just something where we have to focus on like every day, every play, and it shows the importance of every play, especially in practices when people are like when you get tired or there's a rep that say someone sags off on or doesn't give full intensity. It shows in the games. It shows how important it is, especially again in the Big Ten where you turn on the TV and most games are like very closely fought. So you can't really look in the past. You got to learn from it. Don't get me wrong. You got to look at the mistakes, like why we were in that position, why we lose. You got to learn from it and then take it on to the next games, especially one tomorrow, which is a big one.
Thanks, Jack.
Thank you.